Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Hanna Khumaira Azaro. I'm from English Education Department UIN Salatiga. In this video, I will be discussing about literature appreciation. I will analyze a film. The title is Little Women, directed by Greta Gerwich. Actually, this film an adaptation of the novel Little Women, written by Louisa May Alcott. But on this occasion, I will focus on analyzing the film. Okay, so for the first slide, I will discuss the them and characters. The themes of this film include feminism, women independence, family, sisterly support, and ambition. And for the characters, in this story, I'm focused on four main characters from the March sister and Lori, who is their close friend. So, first, there is Meg March, the eldest sister's feminism, beautiful, romantic, and drawn to luxury. And then Jo March, she is an independent and ambitious writer, believes that women can success without depending on men. So she truly doesn't want to depend on men. She wants to achieve her dreams through her efforts. And next, Beth March. She is shy, gentle, loving, and loves music. Doesn't have, but she doesn't have strong ambition. And then Amy March. She is initially selfish, but becomes wise as they grow up. And then the last is Laurie Lawrence. He is rich, cheerful, but rebellious neighbor. And he is the March sister close friends. Next, I will explain the plot. So, the beginning, the story begins in 1868 with Jo in New York, then flashback to her childhood with her sisters and their neighbor Lori. So, at the beginning, the story in 1868 with Jo in New York. At the time, she is working as a teacher and a writer. Then the story flashback to her childhood with her sisters and their neighbor Lori. The flashback takes place during Christmas at their family home and shows how they first become close to Lori. Next is complication. Each sister faces personal struggles, and Jo rejects Lori's proposal, creating a conflict between love and independence. So, why Jo rejects Lori's proposal? Because Jo believes that they are not suitable for each other, and on the other hand, she wants to focus more on her career rather than getting married. And then climax. Beth dies, leaving Jo in deep grief. She feels lonely, briefly hopes Lori still loves her, and begins to realize her true path. So, because Beth dies, it leaving Jo in deep grief. And she feels even more lonely, especially as her sister have started their own life. Because of this loneliness, Jo briefly that Lori still has feeling for her and still love her. However, as she struggles with her emotions and begins to feel frustrated with her situation, she starts to realize her true path. She begins writing again, starting her story from the beginning and doing it better than before. And finally, the resolution. Jo rises from her frustration, accepts reality, publishes her novels, marries Professor Bear, and each sister finds her own path life. So, although Jo feels disappointed at first, especially when she learns that Lori has fallen in love with her sister Amy and then married her, she eventually overcomes her frustration and accepts the situation. After she starts writing again, she successfully published her novel. Later, she realized that she loved Professor Pear, her friend in New York, and eventually marries him. In the end, each sister finds her own journey and happiness in life. Okay, for the next slide, I will discuss the setting, which includes place and time. For the place, there are three main locations. First, Concord, Massachusetts. It is the main home of the March family. Second, New York City. This is where Joe works as a teacher and writer. Third, Europe, Paris, where Amy stays with her aunt, develops her talent as an artist, and later meets Laurie again. For the time, there are two periods. The first is 1861, beginning or childhood, during Christmas in Concord, Massachusetts, which takes place during the American Civil War. And then the second, 1868, adulthood, 7 years later in the post-war Reconstruction era, when Joe is working in New York, Amy is in Europe, and the other sisters are living their adult life. Finally, I will discuss the moral values, including resilience and feminism. Joe teaches us the courage to pursue our dreams without depending on men. She also shows the importance of having a pure heart, learning how to control our anger, loving ourselves, and remaining humble like Beth. From Joe, we learn to be brave in chasing our dreams and to keep trying despite difficulties. Lastly, there is a quote from Joe March: I would rather take risks than do nothing. This means that it's better to take risks than do nothing at all. In fact, doing nothing also carries its own risks. So it's better for us to keep trying, take those risks, and get better results in the future. Okay, so I think that's all for my presentation. I hope it's useful and provides new insight. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.